I can tell you that no matter what you choose, it's going to be the correct decision, because you're either going to get the rewards or you're going to get the lessons out of either choice you make. So if you choose not to go, you're going to get a reward or a lesson out of that. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. If you come, despite your higher self telling you that you shouldn't do it, you're going to get either a reward because you were courageous and it was actually fear that you were fighting through, or you're going to get a lesson that you should have listened to your higher self. Either way, you win. So you can't make a wrong decision. Remember that. And most decisions, probably all decisions that we make. So, yeah. Fear usually comes from lower self, in my opinion. It's the absence of love. It's the shadow to the light. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate. Fear is very sneaky, very deceptive. So it can really masquerade in the same voice as our higher self sometimes. That does happen. For sure. Fear is a liar. Fear is a manipulator and a liar. Absolutely. Looks like we lost a lot of people on the live. Probably because of the choppiness. I get that. Not my best live. I had to take Morpheus for a walk in the rain. Come on, upstairs. Upstairs. This should be a lot better though, now that I'm on Wi-Fi. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you so much for the likes. If anybody got any questions, I'd love to see if we can get this conversation back going. I know that it was choppy when I was out there, and that can be annoying and frustrating. We're back. We're back. Fear is a liar. Let's talk about the subconscious a little bit. How often would one use I am? As often as that person is truly called to it. I know a bunch of people who sat in one retreat, 2 ceremonies. It kicked off a spiritual path for them that they followed. They never needed it again. Their whole life has changed. It's beautiful. And I know somebody else who drank it every day for 4 years. They're different paths. Every day for 4 years is Taita Pedro was training to be a Taita. A lot of medicine. It makes you vomit? Yes. Yes, it does. About 75, 80% of people will vomit from it. So how often a person would take it is based on their own personal path and what their higher self tells them about how often they should take it. Really. I heard the vomit part is the part that can sometimes turn things dark. Actually, it's kind of the opposite for most people, because the vomiting, the purging is getting rid of all of that old stuff. It's very relieving. And once you purge that stuff out, it's gone and you feel better. And the thing usually takes a turn for the better because you just released something. Purging also can happen in a bunch of different ways. Purging can happen from purging in the bucket, throwing up, right? Purging in the toilet, pooping. But it can also be yawning and shaking and twitching and laughing and crying and stretching and all sorts of different ways, sweating. There's so many different ways for that energy to leave your body that the medicine uses a whole bunch of different ways to get rid of it. I was definitely yawning, such good yawns. Yeah, isn't it ridiculous the way that a yawn feels like your face opens up and it just connects with this power of the universe? It's wild. It's like the most satisfying yawn you've ever had times 1,000. Eyes closed or open, it's noble silence. I recommend eyes closed as long as you can. Challenge yourself to keep your eyes closed the whole time if you can. If you have a guide or a coach, yes, before and after, but not during. During, it's you and the medicine. Anything that we would say or discuss with you and during the process would interfere with the work from the medicine. So What if things go bad without talking? How bring it back? So we have a whole bunch of tools that we utilize. Oh, thank you, Nurse Loey Shops for the kitties. We have so many different tools, right? The shaman uses, and I use that term because that's the term that everybody uses. But really, I use medicine carrier personally. So medicine carrier has different tools like Hape, Chocagwe, Sananga, Soples, Chicapas, Guardiente, Agua de Florida, music. And sometimes we do encourage you to breathe. So we might tell you long, slow, deep breaths. Someone told me a flower can help a lot. Yeah. We give Agua de Florida, which is like this liquid that you put on your hands and you smell, and it smells like the most rich and vibrant flowers that you can imagine. It's really beautiful and it's grounding and it helps. It's very pleasant and it brings you to a wonderful space. Can't wait to come. I've been researching for years and you guys are top tier. Thank you. What is your favorite season in Maine for retreats? I would say late spring into early fall. And favorite season in Florida is definitely fall through spring. Does one need to fast? No. You have to change your diet a bit. You have to take out the red meat, the pork, the processed food, the refined sugars, the alcohol, cannabis, and reduce your salt intake to very low. Is October booked up? Nope. There's space in October. But you should not fast because you need your energy. So definitely eat, fuel your body with good, healthy foods like chicken, fish, eggs, and all kinds of good whole foods. So October, if you want to come and see the leaves in Maine, which is stunning, then you should book the second week in Maine. So from like the 6th to like the 16th, roughly, is peak. It is so amazing. Natalie, how are you? Cannabis does interfere with the process. You need to stop for a couple of weeks. It's not dangerous, but it can affect the strength of the medicine and reduce the effect. Why is salt so important? We oversalt our stuff in the Western world. It's not healthy for the body. It's a sacrifice. We give up certain things, sacrifice things in any spiritual practice. And also, which trumps all of that, because the elders of the Shipibo and the Kofan and the Kuntanawa tribe all told me that you have to reduce salt to a very low amount. They're the experts. They've been running this for a couple thousand years, okay? And so I trust their direction. It'd be nice to have friends in a community like this. I have a feeling my journey will be long. That's what Pachamama Sanctuary is. I'm just a member of the community. Low dose THC gummies too? Yes. Yes. They will interfere. What about electrolytes? So if you need electrolytes, I don't want you being sick. I don't want you like passing out or anything like that. In the jungle, they just don't give you salt. And like Glenn, one of the members of our team, was down there for 2 months training with the Shipibo, and there's no salt. And he kept passing out, waking up with his face in the dirt. But so I don't want you going through that. So if you need electrolytes, if you need those electrolytes, you take them. All right. But be mindful. Don't take a ton of them. Don't take a ton of them. Thank you for the likes, Tim and Lily. Thank you all so much for being here. It's a beautiful community. My path turned out much longer than expected. I'm glad I have Pachamama. We're so happy that you're here. I can't wait to hear about Burning Man either, Natalie. I have been invited several times and I've declined each time because it looks like a lot. And I'm really curious to see how you're going. I think if we stay positive, we're all on a journey. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Staying positive is one way to go. I prefer holding on to hope because sometimes things suck. And being real about that is the way through. Feeling that it sucks, and being real about that instead of bypassing it, but having hope that there is beauty on the other end. You should check some regional burns if you're interested in Burning Man. Yeah, I'm probably going to go to a burn at some point. They are less overwhelming, but still carry the value and experience. Yeah, I'm interested in the experimental community for the weekend and what it would feel like to be around that. And yeah, it definitely, I love art and music and people. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of awesome things, parts to it, but 10 days in the playa, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't strike me as something that I want to do. I'm more of a Halloween Bonnaroo person, but that's me. I may or may not go to Halloween this year. Probably not, but maybe. I love Halloween, my favorite. Electric Forest, yeah, I camp with 100, 150 people, the Reddit crew at Halloween, and I split an RV with some people so I can have an indoor space, a bed, and yeah. So I don't want to be scared anymore. I don't want to think about my own passing. I get it. Good morning. With all respect, why are you turning Aya into a church? Okay, I'm not turning Aya into a church. There is actually a couple of churches from Brazil that far preceded me. Santo Daime has over 8 million members of their church. And Unidad de Vegetal, or UDV, they have about 2.5 million members. The reason that I call it a church is because it is a place where a community comes to congregate and connect with the divine. I call the divine God. You might have a different name for it, but that's a connection with that. We're not dogmatic.